Welcome to a deep dive into the year 1883. As the world transitioned into the year 1883, it stood on the precipice of profound change and uncertainty. Across continents, the pulse of industrialization quickened, transforming landscapes and livelihoods with innovations in electricity and communication. From scientific discoveries that continued to revolutionize understanding germ theory and advancements in engineering and medicine, to major natural disasters that would demand change in how we view Earth and protect our civilizations. To go around the world, Australia was navigating its post-colonial identity and experiencing significant developments across various aspects of society. The country was undergoing rapid urbanization and industrialization, particularly in major cities like Sydney and Melbourne, which were bustling hubs of trade, commerce, and cultural exchange. Australia's economy was heavily dependent on agriculture, mining, and pastoral industries, with wool production being a major economic driver. The Congo Basin was still covered by dense rainforests, largely unexplored by outsiders. Stretching across Central Africa, this vast region was home to myriad indigenous peoples, their lives intricately woven into the fabric of the jungle. The Congo River snaked its way, a lifeline for both trade and travel, yet also a barrier dividing communities and cultures. Villages nestled amidst towering trees where daily life revolved around subsistence farming, hunting, and the mystical bonds with the forest spirits. Tribes like the Bakongo and the Mongo navigated their existence with deep-rooted traditions, while European presence cast a shadow over this pristine world. Missionaries sought to convert the populace, bringing with them new faiths and disrupting age-old belief systems. Traders and explorers driven by profit sought ivory, rubber, and other commodities, often exploiting and subjugating the local population in the process. In 1883, Vietnam was a land deeply entrenched in its own cultural heritage while undergoing profound transformations under French colonial rule. The Vietnamese society revolved around agrarian life, where rice farming dominated the landscape and provided sustenance for the population. Cities like Hanoi and Hue served as cultural and administrative centers, blending traditional Vietnamese architecture with the imposing presence of French colonial buildings and institutions. Confucian values still held sway in social hierarchies, while Buddhism remained a central spiritual force. The Nguyen dynasty, ruling from Hue, faced increasing pressure from French political and economic influence, which sought to integrate Vietnam into the broader colonial network of Southeast Asia. This period marked a pivotal juncture for Vietnam as it grappled with the challenge of preserving its cultural identity. Amidst this whirlwind of progress and upheaval, change and tradition, 1883 loomed as a pivotal chapter, setting the stage for events that would shape the course of the 19th century and beyond. In 1883, Thomas Edison extended his groundbreaking work with electric overhead wires beyond his Menlo Park laboratory in New Jersey. Building on his successful demonstration of electric lighting, Edison sought to expand the reach and reliability of electric power distribution. His efforts culminated in the development and implementation of the first practical electric overhead wire system in Roselle, New Jersey. Edison's system featured overhead wires suspended on poles, enabling the transmission of electricity over longer distances. This innovation was a significant improvement over earlier underground wiring methods, allowing for more efficient and scalable distribution of electric power. The installation in Roselle demonstrated Edison's commitment to advancing the practical applications of electricity beyond experimental stages. By harnessing the power of electric overhead wires, Edison was able to provide reliable electric lighting to homes and businesses in Roselle. This achievement laid the groundwork for the expansion of electrical infrastructure and paved the way for the widespread adoption of electric lighting and power distribution systems in cities across the world. 1883 is also the year Edison started his Edison Electric Illuminating Company in Sandbury, Pennsylvania. The United States Navy ushered in a new era of naval technology with the commissioning of its first modern steel-hulled warship, the USS Dolphin. Designed and constructed by John Roach and Sons in Chester, Pennsylvania, the USS Dolphin represented a significant departure from the earlier wooden-hulled vessels that had dominated naval fleets. This new ship was classified as a dispatch vessel intended primarily for carrying messages, dispatches, and supplies between naval stations and fleets, crucial for maintaining communication and logistical support across vast distances. The USS Dolphin measured approximately 188 feet in length and displaced around 1,600 tons. It was outfitted with a robust steel hull, a revolutionary advancement in naval architecture at the time. The adoption of steel provided numerous advantages over traditional wooden ships, including increased strength, durability, and resistance to damage from enemy fire and maritime hazards. This improvement in hull material not only enhanced the Dolphin's structural integrity, but also extended its operational lifespan and reliability in challenging sea conditions. The USS Dolphin could achieve speeds up to 18 knots, making it one of the faster ships in the US Navy at the time. This capability allowed the Dolphin to effectively fulfill its roles as dispatch vessel, ensuring swift and efficient movement between naval stations and fleets. The commissioning of the USS Dolphin reflected broader strategic developments in the United States naval expansion. As the country sought to strengthen its naval presence and capabilities, particularly in response to global geopolitical developments, vessels like the Dolphin played a crucial role in projecting American power and protecting national interests. On the morning of May 20th, 1883, the island of Krakatoa in the Sunda Strait began to stir with an unsettling energy. Fishermen along the coasts of Java and Sumatra had grown used to Krakatoa's quiet, brooding presence, but that day, a faint rumble could be heard beneath the island. The fishermen paused, their nets slack in the water, exchanging glances. Far above them, atop towering volcano, a plume of smoke curled hazily into the sky. As the hours passed, the rumble grew louder, and suddenly, with a deep, resonating crack, Krakatoa erupted. Small pyroclastic surges cascaded down the sides of the volcano, but it was the noise that most captured the attention of the nearby islands. The explosions echoed across the water, and some thought the very earth was cracking open. The volcanic bombs, glowing with intense heat, tumbled down the volcano's slopes, some rolling into the sea with hisses of steam. Debris floated on the waters of the Sunda Strait, carried by waves stirred by the eruption's energy. For the people living in coastal villages, the eruption was an ominous sign. Ash soon began to fall like dark snow, coating the sea and land in a thick layer of gray. Boats hurried back to shore as the sky took on an eerie, twilight glow even in the early afternoon. The air smelled of sulfur, and the heat from the distant island was palpable. The May 20th eruption was a warning. Though it quieted after several hours, Krakatoa's activity had only just begun. Those who witnessed the Strombolian explosion might not have known it at the time, but the island was preparing for something much greater. The Earth was awakening, and in just a few months, Krakatoa would unleash one of the most devastating volcanic events in recorded history. The opening of the Brooklyn Bridge on May 24, 1883, was a historic event that marked a new era in transportation and urban connectivity. Construction began January 2, 1870, and was designed by John A. Roebling and completed by his son Washington Roebling. The bridge was the world's first steel wire suspension bridge and the longest of its kind at the time, spanning 1,595 feet across the East River. Its completion was celebrated with great fanfare, with over 150,000 people crossing the bridge on its first day, including prominent figures such as President Chester A. Arthur and New York Governor Grover Cleveland. The bridge was hailed as an engineering marvel, a symbol of progress, and a testament to human ingenuity. However, the excitement surrounding the bridge's opening quickly turned to tragedy just 6 days later on May 30th. As thousands of pedestrians walked across the bridge, a sudden and unfounded rumor spread that the structure was about to collapse. Panic ensued, and the crowd began to rush towards the exits, leading to a deadly stampede. In the chaos, people were trampled and crushed against the bridge's iron railings, resulting in the deaths of at least 12 people and many more injured. The incident cast a shadow over the bridge's early days, as the public's initial awe was replaced by fear and anxiety about the safety of the new structure. In the aftermath of the stampede, efforts were made to restore public confidence in the bridge. A dramatic demonstration was staged by P.T. Barnum, who famously led a parade of 21 elephants across the bridge to prove its stability. This event, along with other reassurances, helped to quell public fears, and the Brooklyn Bridge eventually became a beloved and iconic landmark of New York City. Despite its rocky start, the Brooklyn Bridge was endured as a symbol of resilience and a vital artery connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn, standing as a proud testament to the vision and determination of its creators. William Renshaw was born on January 3, 1861, in Royal Leamington Spa, England. From an early age, he and his twin brother Ernest shared a passion for sports, but it was tennis that truly captured their imaginations. Together, they honed their skills on their family's lawn, developing a dynamic and aggressive style of play that would soon take the world of tennis by storm. By the early 1880s, William had become a rising star in tennis, known for his innovative approach and fierce determination on the court. His powerful serves and tactical volleys set him apart from his competitors. It was these qualities that helped him secure his first Wimbledon title in 1881, a victory that marked the beginning of his dominance over the tournament. In the 1883 Wimbledon Championship, both William and Ernest Renshaw were at the peak of their tennis careers. William, known for his powerful serves and aggressive style, was seeking his third consecutive title. Meanwhile, Ernest, with his more measured and strategic approach, reached the all-comers final, where he faced Scotsman Donald Stewart. Ernest put up a strong fight and ultimately defeated Stewart, and would go on to challenge his brother William in the challenge round. In the final, William Renshaw faced Ernest, and after dropping the first set, rallied back to win 2-6, 6-3, 6-4, 6-3, securing his third consecutive Wimbledon title. This victory further established William as the undisputed king of Wimbledon, earning him widespread acclaim. For Ernest, although the 1883 tournament didn't bring a championship, it marked another step in his steady rise as a competitor. Together, the Renshaw brothers were revolutionizing the game, not only through their individual achievements, but also through their influence on tennis strategy and style. Their rivalry and partnership would continue to captivate the tennis world in the years to come. The Casamacciola earthquake, which struck the island of Ischia, Italy on July 28, 1883, was a devastating seismic event. The earthquake, occurring at approximately 7:20 p.m., had an estimated magnitude between 4.2 and 5.5, but its shallow depth and the densely populated nature of the island exacerbated its impact. Casamacciola Terme, the hardest hit town, experienced near total destruction. Many buildings, including homes, hotels, and public structures, collapsed under the force of the quake, leading to significant casualties. The earthquake resulted in the deaths of over 2,300 people, with thousands more injured or left homeless. The immediate aftermath was characterized by a chaotic and desperate search for survivors amid the rubble. The island's infrastructure was severely compromised, with roads, bridges, and communication lines damaged or destroyed, complicating rescue and relief efforts. The widespread devastation was further aggravated by subsequent landslides, which buried entire sections of the town and further hindered recovery operations. The destruction of Casamacciola, a popular resort town known for its thermal baths, led to a severe economic downturn as tourism was temporarily halted. The disaster prompted a large-scale humanitarian response, both from the Italian government and international organizations. Relief efforts included providing food, medical care, and temporary shelter to the displaced population. The Casamacciola earthquake serves as a reminder of the island's vulnerability to earthquakes and the ongoing need for vigilance in disaster preparedness and resilient infrastructure development. The event's legacy continues to influence both local and national approaches to managing and mitigating earthquake risk, reflecting the enduring lessons learned from the tragic episode in Ischia's history. The Krakatoa eruption, which began on August 26, 1883 and continued into August 27, was an extraordinarily violent volcanic event. Krakatoa erupted with unprecedented force, initiating a series of cataclysmic explosions that dramatically reshaped the island and had global repercussions. The eruption commenced with a series of explosive bursts on August 26, which were characterized by colossal explosions that sent ash and volcanic gases high into the atmosphere. These explosions generated a massive ash cloud that reached the stratosphere, resulting in a series of violent shockwaves and pyroclastic flows. The eruption's intensity peaked on August 27th when a final, enormous explosion obliterated the central part of the Krakatoa island, causing the caldera to collapse into the sea. This eruption was accompanied by a series of devastating tsunamis triggered by the sudden displacement of seawater due to the island's collapse. The tsunamis, with waves reaching up to 40 meters high, struck the coasts of Java and Sumatra with catastrophic force, inundating coastal towns and villages and resulting in over 36,000 fatalities. The destruction was immense, with entire communities wiped out and extensive property damage along the affected coastlines. The eruption also had significant atmospheric effects, injecting vast quantities of volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide into the upper atmosphere. This led to a temporary cooling of the Earth's climate, causing a notable drop in temperatures and resulting in dramatic atmospheric phenomena such as vivid sunsets and unusual twilight colors observed worldwide. The climatic impact was severe enough to contribute to the year without a summer in 1884, affecting global weather patterns and agricultural production. The formal agreement on time zones between the United States and Canada was reached on November 18, 1883, an event that is often referred to as the Day of Two Noons. Prior to this standardization, timekeeping was a highly localized affair, with each town or city setting its own time based on the position of the sun, which led to widespread confusion and inefficiencies. This was particularly problematic for the burgeoning railroad industry, where precise scheduling was essential for safety and coordination. The catalyst for the change was the rapid expansion of the railroad networks in North America, which highlighted the need for a standardized system to manage schedules across long distances. Before the agreement, there were thousands of different local time zones in use, making it nearly impossible to synchronize train schedules and coordinate communications effectively. In response to these challenges, the American and Canadian railroads spearheaded the initiative to create a uniform system of time zones. On November 18, 1883, known as the Day of Two Noons, the new system was implemented. The continent was divided into four primary time zones: Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific. Each zone was offset from the next by 1 hour, with the standard time adopted based on a system of mean solar time rather than local solar time. This new timekeeping system was initially adopted by the railroads, but quickly gained acceptance and was later adopted by national governments. The implementation of the time zones greatly improved the efficiency of railroad operations, reducing the number of scheduling conflicts and accidents caused by discrepancies in timekeeping. 1883 had many world-changing events, some large and some small. We covered 8 major events in this video, but I'd like to add a few more events. The first patent for a cigar rolling machine was granted in 1883 to a young Cuban immigrant, Oscar Hammerstein. His invention revolutionized the cigar industry by automating the process of rolling cigars, which had previously been done entirely by hand. The machine could produce up to 240,000 cigars a day, dramatically increasing efficiency and reducing labor costs. In 1883, German physician and microbiologist Robert Koch made a groundbreaking discovery by identifying the bacterium Vibrio cholerae as a causative agent of cholera. While investigating a cholera outbreak in Egypt and later in India, Koch isolated the bacteria and demonstrated its role in the transmission of the disease. His work confirmed that cholera was spread through contaminated water. The 9th Kentucky Derby, held in 1883, was won by Leonidas, a chestnut colt bred in Kentucky. Ridden by jockey Billy Donahue and trained by Raleigh Colston Sr., Leonidas dominated the race, finishing the mile-and-a-half course in 2 minutes and 43 seconds. His victory was especially impressive as he went on to win 10 consecutive races after the Derby. Karl Marx, born on May 5, 1818 in Trier, Germany, was a philosopher, economist, and revolutionary socialist. He is best known for co-authoring the Communist Manifesto with Friedrich Engels in 1848, and for his seminal work Das Kapital, which critiqued capitalism and laid the foundation for Marxist theory. Marx died on March 14, 1883 in London, leaving behind a legacy that would inspire revolutions and shape political thought for generations. In 1883, the world experienced profound events and advancements. The eruption of Krakatoa demonstrated nature's destructive power, while the completion of the Northern Pacific Railway symbolized America's rapid expansion. New technologies like the electric light bulb began transforming cities, and thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche redefined philosophical thought. Despite progress, social tensions and inequalities grew, signaling that the world was entering a complex, transformative era.